It's time for Media Watch. James Cretan is here with us. James, François Hollande being criticised for admitting France's role in the deportation of Jews during the Second World War. This all revolves around something which is called La Rafle de Vel d'Hiv, which is when basically Jews in Paris are rounded up and taken to the velodrome, which now doesn't exist anymore.
13,000 and then deported.
So how is someone actually saying that France didn't have a role in this then?
This is Henri. Actually, do you know what? We'll have a listen to what François Hollande said yesterday. Because what he did is he took it a little bit further than what Jacques Chirac said during his presidency, where he said that French police assisted the German occupiers in the deportation, etc., and that this was an error, right? And what François Hollande said today is that it was not an error, it was a crime, and that essentially French police did this on their own. We'll take a listen to what he said yesterday on this.
The truth is tough. It's cruel. The truth is not a single German soldier, not one, participated in this entire operation. The truth is that this crime was committed in France, by France.
James, they are harsh words from the French president.
That's right. He's owning up to a very shadowy part of French history that hasn't always been owned up to. Now, one person who did not agree with him was Henri Guillanot, special advisor to Nicolas Sarkozy, his speechwriter, etc. Let's take a look he spoke this morning on French radio, and he said that he was horrified by what François Hollande had said, and it seems that François Hollande feels closer to Vichy France than to the France that Henri Guillanot recognises, which is the France that Charles de Gaulle represented in London.
So what he's getting at is that the Paris police force that rounded up the Jews in that horrible moment in French history was actually acting under the Vichy French existence, if you like, during World War II.
Right.
Whereas de Gaulle was in London, and that was the real France.
That's right. It's kind of which France you choose to elect as official France at that time, and the France that was the flag bearer for French history. It's a very, it certainly depends on what side of history you're on, I suppose. He says he was horrified. Let's take a look at some of the reaction online. This person agreeing with Henri Guillanot, actually saying, I consider that Philippe Pétain, who was the head of Vichy France, he was a collaborator. Collaboration was Vichy, and Vichy was not France, right? Also, this person saying, no, Mr. Guillanot, not all French people were in London in 1942, because what Guillanot was more or less saying is that France was not in France at this time.
Indeed.
At the time of the deportation of Jews, which was conducted in this instance by French police, as François Hollande said, France was not in France; it was in London. So you're talking about semantics and historiography, really. Certain even arrested Jews while being representatives of the law. So that person saying, "Look, Henri Guillanot, take reality check
what
here."
What François Hollande was saying, it was French police who rounded up the Jews for that. The roundup in 1942.
Right. And I suppose the role of the president in official history is significant. He is, you especially in France, where the role of this kind of monarchical type presidency is so significant. These declarations are a sort of way of taking history forward, if you like.
It puzzles me as to why people, and intelligent people, because these people aren't stupid, even though what they say might seem to some people stupid, they're splitting hairs over something which is incredibly sensitive, incredibly dark and dire, and one of the worst things that's happened in French history. It's awful, isn't it?
I think Henri Guillanot, his idea is France is the country of enlightenment, it's the country of human rights. There is no place for what happened in the Vel d'Hiv in this France's
by French people. That's
story.
what he's ignoring.
That's right. I mean, he essentially is ignoring what François Hollande is recognising, which is this part of reality that happened in 1942.
It's either side accusing one another of rewriting history, which is very disturbing.
That's right. But I think François Hollande is on the side of the future, and Henri Guillanot is sort of, he's holding on to certain ideas of the past.
I think I agree with that. Now, she has been at it again. She being the French First Lady, and she's been tweeting. She tweeted rather infamously a month ago, supporting the opponent of Ségolène Royal in parliamentary elections in La Rochelle, Ségolène Royal being François Hollande's ex. It created a political storm, to say the least, Ségolène eventually lost.
That's
again.
right.
Yeah.
And it created a lot of upset in their private life too. Apparently they didn't speak for about a week. And Thomas Hollande, who is François Hollande's son, spoke out in public against this. In any case, she has tweeted again for the first time in about 5 weeks. And a much more measured tweet this time, saying she paid homage to François Hollande for the magnificent speech of the president for the commemoration of the Vel d'Hiv roundup. Very moving. So there you go. She's clearly, I think, learned her lesson, and she's playing it much more safe in terms of how those tweets are being written. She also deleted the old tweet along with 169 others.
But everybody knows what she said. James Creedon, thank you very much indeed. James
Thanks,
Creedon will keep an eye on that and all other stories as they happen throughout the World Wide Web. Stay with us. A short break after that with more news, some sport and some culture for you. A wide and varied menu here live from Paris. Stay with us.